Good evening and welcome. You're watching Newsbreak. Tomorrow is the big day, the third edition, the Mumbai chapter of the INDIA Opposition Alliance meeting. So they started from 17 in Patna, they reached 26 and now they claim to be 28. There seems to be an expansion in the INDIA bloc. The Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi has claimed that India now has 28 parties on board. 26 parties, remember, had attended the previous meeting in Bengaluru. 63 representatives are expected to attend the Mumbai meet. In just a short moment, we'll get you all the names of all the parties who are going to be in attendance. Now, what's on the agenda? So, the India meet, which is expected to take place in Mumbai tomorrow, is going to finalize a logo for the alliance. There will be seat sharing formula which will be discussed for the Lok Sabha polls. They'll pick a common campaign issue, a committee for formulation of a national agenda. They'll iron out issues faced by regional parties. They'll form panels for coordination and election management and form research wing, media wing and social media teams. A select group of 5 to 10 official spokespersons of this India alliance will come into existence. They will also decide on a joint action schedule. Now, these are the issues on the agenda in Mumbai. But you see, what has been decided so far, that also we have to, in the previous two chapters, what did this alliance agree upon? So the bloc was called Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance in the previous meeting. 26 parties said that they will campaign together under this banner. An 11-member coordination committee will be set up for an alliance. The secretariat will be set up for election campaign management. All of this was decided in the last meeting itself. And of course, there is a brand new agenda for this Mumbai meeting. But you see, while all of this is happening, logo, among other things, spokespersons, some pain points remain. There are repeated run-ins between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. That issue has remained unresolved. After Alka Lamba's remark on Congress's Delhi poll preparations, the Aam Aadmi Party and one of their spokespersons have pitched Arvind Kejriwal as the PM face of this alliance. Aam Aadmi Party's expansion plans in any case have irked regional India alliance partners also. For instance, Aam Aadmi Party claims that they are going to contest elections in Chhattisgarh, which is a stronghold of the Congress party. Now from 17 to 26 and now claims of 28, is there room for further expansion in this alliance? You see, many other big regional players are equidistant. They are not joining this alliance. So is that an expansion problem which this alliance is facing? Regional rifts, could they prevent induction of more parties? And the point that I was making was certain unaligned parties that are still not with this alliance, like the Bharat Rashtra Samiti or the BRS, the YSRCP, the BJD, all of these are not there. Now another big concern is Shiv Sena and the NCP split. There are other opposition parties also at risk. And of course, the big question, the Pawar family gamble, this is all happening in Mumbai. But there is so much confusion within the NCP about which faction of the Pawar. They keep claiming that they're one family. But you can't be one family and be in government with the BJP, be in an alliance with them and also be in the opposition. So how does this split really work? Now, amid all of this, there is talk of early elections also from many leaders within the opposition alliance. The opposition is speculating on early Lok Sabha polls. After Mamata Banerjee, Nitish also is citing the possibility of early polls, where Mamata Banerjee said that we suspect BJP will hold polls in December. By the way, this is a very oft-repeated thing. We heard this in 2013, we heard this in 2019, and 2018, and now we are hearing this in 2023 as well. Nitish Kumar says the BJP fears more losses with time, and they're scared of the opposition unity. But the big question is, while these two leaders in the opposition are claiming that there could be a possibility of early elections, which has been completely ruled out by the BJP, is the opposition alliance even ready for early Lok Sabha elections? They're still in the process of deciding what they will do, and they've just about managed to come together. So these are all certain very, very important questions. Plus, of course, this whole conversation of who is going to be the Prime Minister. The Prime Ministerial ambition debate just keeps going on. Let me see if we have my colleague Sohit Mishra. We'll try to go to him in just a short moment. But that point that we were making about prime ministerial ambitions. So the BJP says that there are many aspirants for that post in this alliance, and that is something which will not keep them together. One point is that beyond these cosmetics, is an action plan in the opposition ready? And the other big question is this constant demand from within of seeing their respective leaders as a prime minister. Does it necessarily work? Let's quickly take a look at all those people who claimed that their leader should become the prime minister.
आप मुझसे पूछेंगे तो मैं तो चाहूंगी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हो प्रधानमंत्री के उम्मीदवार भी और जनता के मुद्दे उठाते हैं, लगातार एक चैलेंजर की तरह वो उभरे हैं, देखे जा सकते हैं प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के आगे।
प्रियंका जी को कहना चाहिए अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के लिए, समाजवादी पार्टी की कार्यकर्ता होते हुए मैं ये कहूँगी कि अखिलेश यादव जी को चेहरा होना चाहिए प्रधानमंत्री का, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री के चेहरे का निर्णय सभी गठबंधन के इंडिया के दल बैठकर सामूहिक रूप से लेंगे।
हमारे पास प्रधानमंत्री बनने के लिए चॉइस बहुत है। सवाल यह है कि भाजपा के पास और चॉइस क्या है? जो 10 साल बैठे थे उन्होंने क्या किया सब लोग देख रहे हैं, सब लोगों ने उनका अनुभव लिया है।
Sohit is now with us. Sohit, is it necessarily a bad thing? I mean, I heard what Uddhav Thackeray said about having so many prime ministerial faces. So while the BJP is quick to quip that look at the number of prime ministerial ambitions within this alliance and sees this as a negative, is it necessarily a negative? For instance, if every political party wants to see their leader at the top spot, at least in the run-up to the elections, this could very well motivate their cadre. I mean, this then will become a problem if they win later.
Absolutely. Well, Sanket, that's exactly the question what we have been asking, because there are still a lot of issues between the parties themselves. If we talk about Maharashtra first, since this meeting is happening over here, and as I heard you saying as well, there's no still clarity about NCP. What is the stand of NCP? While Sharad Pawar and Supriya Sule say that there is no split in NCP, Ajit Pawar is the Deputy Chief Minister and also he is the one who is having a different meeting tomorrow as well. So if this is the condition and if there is no split, the NCP is in the government, the NCP is in the India meeting as well. How is this going to happen? We asked the question regarding, if we talk about Delhi, there is an issue between the Congress as well as the Aam Aadmi Party. We saw how the leaders have been speaking over there as well. Apart from that, we asked Sharad Pawar about the Shiromani Akali Dal if they want to be a part of this alliance, to which Sharad Pawar said that we have Aam Aadmi Party is in power in Punjab, Congress has its own policy for Punjab, so we will have to discuss with them and only after that there could be a solution brought in over here. So yes, the confusion on several issues still continue between the India alliance, and in all of this, where I am standing over here is the Grand Hyatt Hotel where the entire meeting is going to happen. The security has been increased. There are posters that have been brought over here. Sharad Pawar, when today was once again asked about the confusion between the masses regarding NCP itself, between its own workers. In fact, there are MLAs from both the Congress and the Shiv Sena UBT who say that we have a plan B if Sharad Pawar decides to join hands with BJP. He was the one also who is addressing the press conference. So as of now, yes, there are a lot of confusion on several issues. But what the leaders have been saying over here is that in the meeting that is going to happen, there will be a seat sharing formula that will be brought over here, because there are 3 parties in Maharashtra itself for the 48 seats. So how will it be distributed? Who will get what? So these are the questions that they are saying that will be addressed. In fact, I met Raghav Chadda a few minutes back and asked about him that what is the Aam Aadmi Party's view on Shiromani Akali Dal. He said that this is a BJP planted story. Neither is Shiromani Akali Dal going to come over here, neither are we going to invite them. If we talk about Maharashtra, there is Prakash Ambedkar's Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi, which viewers should know that in 2019 election, Congress lost at least 7 seats because of Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi. I am talking about Lok Sabha. Now, Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi is in alliance with Shiv Sena UBT, but they are not a part of the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance. They are not in alliance with NCP or Congress. They are not a part of the India movement over here. So what exactly is going to happen? Now, there are several such questions for which we don't have any answer, but the leaders over here promise that in the next 2 days, they will be bringing a formula out over here in which all of these issues will be sorted. Will that happen? Only time will tell.
Yes, thank you very much. But we'll keep coming back to you as and when we get more information. As of this moment, many of the contentious issues, it seems, are yet to be addressed. Adil Singh Boparai, spokesperson of the Congress party, is now also with us. Mr. Adil, thank you so much for your time. You see, from 17 to 26 to now 28, the list is surely expanding, and that is for you a good sign. But you see, the contentious issues, Adil, they still remain. The potential pain points that you have with the Aam Aadmi Party, the potential pain point that you have with the NCP family rift, the potential pain point on actually deciding about this electoral contest. I mean, it's okay to have a secretariat, spokespersons, logo, song, but you know, the actual fight, the actual contest is drawing nigh.
Well, good evening, Saket. On the contrary, we see no contentious issues. Because the fundamental premise from which we are starting and from which every entity or every unit of the India Alliance is starting is that we need an alternative roadmap to the regressive politics of the Bharatiya Janata Party. This alliance in the 2024 election, Sanket, is not about personalities. Let me underline this for the benefit of our viewers. This is not about personal hankering for power or privilege or position or title. This election will be fought on issues which matter to an ordinary citizen on the streets, issues of employment, issue of inflation, issue of a rising hate climate in the society, issues of denigration of institutions, issue of weaponization of laws, issue of weaponization of agencies. These are the real issues which matter. The BJP and their dirty tricks department are on an overdrive. They want to create a smoke screen. They want to create a media creation that there are disputes or there are issues within the alliance. Let me assure you on behalf of the Congress party, there are none. This is going to be a robust unit. This is going to be a robust framework where we will contest on issues and we will take the issues of the voters to the election schedule, and we are confident that given the disenchantment on the ground, given the disillusionment amongst the people, that we will emerge victorious.
Okay, Aarti Jairath is also with us. Aarti, Adil Singh Boparai is very determined to keep the focus on what the India Alliance hopes to achieve and rather not talk about those issues which he feels are non-issues. But the point is, this is also a reality. I mean, right now, you will not have, at least in the build-up to this meeting, the two-day meeting, people not talk about the differences or at least attempt to iron them out. But the thing is that this exists. These are possible pressure points and pain points that continue to exist. And over these three editions of the opposition meet, still remain unresolved.
Absolutely. And it's not just the pressure point or the tension between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. There's also a problem in West Bengal because, you know, can the CPM and Mamata Banerjee fight an election together? That's a very, very tough one. I mean, they have been traditional enemies for 3 decades and more. So, you know, there are pressure points all over, and these are issues that will have to be ironed out. The only thing that I can say is that the opposition is continuing. You know, I mean, they are continuing this march forward with the alliance, and which shows a certain determination to make this alliance succeed, you know, come hell or high water. And I think that largely the BJP is responsible for this determination in the opposition, because the BJP has played, you know, has spooked the opposition so much and scared the opposition so much by setting agencies after them, by splitting their parties, by destabilizing governments, that I think the opposition has reached a point where they are going to do their very best to iron out differences and fight the elections as a united front. So, you know, I mean, the BJP has only itself to thank for the creation of India.
Okay, one more question to Mr. Boparai, and then I go to Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party also, who's going to join us in just a short moment. Adil Singh Boparai, the real big issues of how you are going to contest in 2024, is this India Alliance only for 24, or can we see some bonhomie, some camaraderie in the recent Vidhan Sabha elections also. You see, in the world of perception on which politics is based, you will create a much better perception narrative in the people's mind when you are seen together even in these small contests and not just a big one in 2024.
Well, Sanket, to respond to your specific question, there are 3 impending elections of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. It is the Congress party which is the preeminent party in all these 3 states. So I don't see any alliance coming up as far as these 3 assembly elections are concerned.
No, I'm not talking about alliance. I'm saying a parallel play in many of these
states.
There
is bonhomie. Did you not see the bonhomie on the floor of the House when we opposed the anti-constitutional Delhi ordinance? So there is bonhomie and we are coming together on issues. But let me make a larger point. We in the Congress, Sanket, sincerely believe that this country today is at a crossroad, where one path leads towards autocracy and the other path leads towards a constitutional republic. Therefore, it is imperative that personal differences are buried. There are bound to be differences. There are differences within every family. There could be different points of view within every family. But when you have to face a common adversary who is determined to run down every ideal on which this country stands, I think it is important that we all come together and fight this common adversary together by putting our differences aside. I think this is the theme, this is the common sentiment which was demonstrated by all alliance partners of the India Alliance. I must concede that all India Alliance partners in their meetings have acknowledged that given the state of affairs in this country, please look at the state of economic distress. Please see the state of the hate climate and polarization which is going on in this country. Look at the
there is a constituency which is looking up to you. The only thing is that whether you will be able to create a situation where you can appear as a formidable force for that constituency to consider you. Thank you very much, Adil Singh Bopra as well as Aarti Jairat for joining us. We have with us Aam Aadmi Party MP Raghav Chadha. Mr. Chadha, you see, we've been discussing this in the past also. You're there in Mumbai, you're attending this meeting, and at the same time, we do see that whether it was the first chapter in Patna or the third chapter here, this one relationship between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party always appears strained. I mean, we had Mr. Gurdeep Singh Sappal of the Congress who said, "Aap जड़ में मट्ठा डालने का काम कर रहे हो," which means that you don't want this plant to grow. I mean, with such sort of animosity, what are we really setting out to achieve?
Well, first of all, Sanket, all political parties under the banner of India Bloc have come together by setting aside differences of views, differences of opinions, personal differences, and above all, personal ambition. And I think this is a very formidable alliance that has come together. And quite frankly, this has rattled the NDA. As far as the relationship between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress is concerned, yes, we have been adversaries in Punjab, we have been adversaries in Delhi, so on and so forth. But it is for the larger good of India to free India from the shackles of unemployment, price rise, dictatorial regime, that parties like ours have come together as loyal soldiers of this alliance to take India forward and to protect India's democracy, to protect India's constitution. And of course, there could have been certain differences in the past. There could have been certain differences within our respective stands on certain issues, but we have come together on this larger plank of protecting India and India's constitutional democracy, and I think that is what is the highlight of this alliance.
No, while you iron out and figure out a common minimum program, which I'm sure you will do in this third chapter also, you see there is this constant buzz of Modi versus who, and then very, very ambitious and excited spokespersons from all respective political parties tend to give their vote. From your party is Ms. Priyanka Kakkad, who feels that Arvind Kejriwal should be the prime ministerial face. From the Samajwadi Party, Ms. Juhi Singh feels Akhilesh Yadav should be the prime ministerial face. Such ambitions have been voiced from the Congress, from the NCP, from the JDU, and the list goes on. And thus you become a subject matter of a joke in the Bharatiya Janata Party. So to those people in the BJP who think that this is a sign of great division, how would you respond?
Well, before I respond to the BJP, let me set the record straight and very categorically and officially state, as a member of parliament and a representative of the Aam Aadmi Party, that Mr. Kejriwal is not in the race for prime ministership, and we have not joined the India Alliance because of any prime ministerial ambitions. We have joined the India Alliance to take India forward and to free India from the ills that it is suffering from, like agrarian crisis, price rise, unemployment, inflation, so on and so forth. Now, as far as all political parties within the India bloc projecting their respective leader, or excited, ambitious spokespersons at the junior most level making these tall claims, let me say this, that at least we have very able and people who have administrative experience and successful administrative tenures behind them, and they can at least be considered for a job like this. I wish to ask the BJP, while we may suffer from the problem of plenty, do you have a single leader apart from Mr. Modi that you can even think of projecting? Can a member of the NDA today say, I want Nitin Gadkari as a prime minister? Can a member of the NDA today say that I want Yogi Adityanath as a prime minister? Can the alliance partners of NDA today say that we want a prime minister from Chirag Paswan's party or AIADMK? They can't even think to say such a thing, because the moment they utter such things, they will probably...
But Raghav Chadha, the question that I was asking Mr. Boparai also just a short while ago, you see in politics, which is a world of perception, perception matters and it carries. You are hoping to build a grand alliance for 2024, and yet ahead of that contest in state assemblies, there is parallel play in many states. For instance, the Aam Aadmi Party's ambition in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan, in other places also. I mean, in the world of perception, how does this work? You will be seen, or your cadre will be seen contesting, and within the next few months will be seen together with the very same opponent.
Look, Sanket, the answer to this is what happened in the 70s. While in state elections, certain political parties may oppose each other. At a national level, at a national election that will decide India's future, which will decide whether India will become a dictatorship or will remain a constitutional democracy, all parties come together. In the 70s, post the 1971 Bangladesh liberation, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was at her peak in terms of her popularity. But subsequent to 71, India suffered from highest unemployment, extremely high price rise, inflation, and an authoritarian regime that imposed emergency, that introduced, certain practices that were against the ethos of India. And as a result, people got together. The communists and the socialists, the leftists, the Jansanghi, all came under the banner of Janata Party and defeated the mighty Mrs. Indira Gandhi. And they won 295 out of 543 seats and formed their own government. Now, something similar is happening today. While ideologically or politically or electorally we may have opposed one another, and may continue to oppose in subsequent elections. For the national election, all political parties are coming together for the benefit of India, to take India forward. And I think that is what is
my last question. My last question.
My hopes on.
While you may have the intent, post these 3 meetings now, of course the third will happen now, post 2 meetings and possibly a third, are you somewhere close to a concrete plan on the ground? You see, I may have intent, but do I have the plan to execute?
Well, first meeting that happened in Patna, in which I participated, there was a meeting of minds. People resolved to come together, form a formidable alliance, and take on the mighty BJP. In the second alliance, the name, shape, size, and form of this alliance was discussed and subsequently announced. In the third meeting that will happen in Bombay, where I am today, is a meeting in which I think the agenda of this alliance, the key issues, and the blueprint for a better India will be discussed. And of course, committees should be formed to take this alliance forward in terms of the communication, the campaign, seat sharing, so on and so forth. Things are moving forward. Things are moving forward at a good and a steady pace. And I think this alliance is a formidable challenger to the BJP. In fact, if you were to do some back of the envelope calculation, you will find that this alliance has 11 chief ministers and who are running 11 able administrations in respective states. This alliance has vote share which can give the BJP a run for its money, and this alliance actually has concrete political parties that have representation in parliament. As opposed to the NDA that has 38 political parties, out of which only 3 political parties have more than 5 MPs. 38 NDA political parties, out of which only of which 26 have no representation in India's parliament. Where NDA is only an alliance in theory, India is an alliance in theory as well as in practice.
Okay. Raghav Chadha, many thanks for joining us. And in the end, let's
Thank you.
also show our viewers a picture if political bonhomie is important ahead of this meeting. Well, today is the festival of Raksha Bandhan, and that's West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee tying a Rakhi to Uddhav Thackeray, who's the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra and also a part of this India alliance. Stopping for a short break at this moment. Be with us.